Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet talked a little bit about the difference between Ben Johnson and past Bears coaches, which Cole Kmet has seen his share of them when it comes down to it, right? Kmet talked, and he said this. They've all been different. They're all different in many ways. I think what sticks out with Ben and the staff just in general is how detail-oriented they are. You can feel in the meetings, and they're relentless on the details. I think that's something that may be a little bit unique from what I've had in the past. Not saying other coaches weren't detailed, but it's like an obsession. The details, you can feel that from him. He just can't let it go. You feel that from him, whether it's on the field or in a meeting room. He brings that with him wherever he's at. Attention to details, right? When you're somebody that's a creative offensive mind like Ben Johnson, you don't get there without attention to detail. And that's a huge part in all of this, is that Ben Johnson's attention to detail, not just in how the plays are executed, but the finer details in how certain players like to be used. How can you combine these skill set from these players to create a mismatch over here on the other side of the field, right? How you line people up, like those are things that are hugely important when you want to be a detail-oriented coach and you want to force other teams to react to what you're doing offensively. You cannot be a great offensive mind without having a level of detail. I'll say a great mind in general when it comes to the X's and O's of the sport if you're not detail-oriented. So to hear that Cole Kmet, one of the things that stood out to him with the different coaching staff that he's seen is two versions of the coaching staff under Matt Eberflus, a version under Matt Nagy before Eberflus even came, and now this coaching staff under Ben Johnson. Cole Kmet has seen a lot in this time. And so for a player for what's to stick out about a new coaching staff so early on is the details, the fact that he obsesses over the details, and that to be something that stands out so much that when you talk about it is one of the first things that you bring up. That says a lot to me personally. Now, we got to see the detail-oriented and the results of that on the field. But one thing with Ben Johnson is that when you look at how Ben Johnson's talked about, and for a lot of the major outlets, one of the reasons why that they talk so much more positively about the Bears, or they have a more positive outlook on what this Bears team could be, a lot of it starts with the coaching staff. It's not that a lot of if you look at the way things are written, that they're like, oh my God, Caleb Williams is going to take a leap to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league. They're not saying that. They're not looking at it and saying, oh, Montez Sweat and Javon Dexter are going to form one of the most dangerous duos on the defensive line in the league. They're not saying that. They're looking at the Dennis Allens, right? And what Dennis Allen brings schematically to this Bears team. They're looking at the Ben Johnsons and what Ben Johnson brings as far as in maximizing the talent that is on this team and getting every ounce of the talent out of it